We will be starting shortly. Please don't forget to say hello on the chat on the side. Good afternoon. My name is Lucero Cazares-Rodriguez. I am a second grade dual language teacher at Cooper Elementary. We have iPads available um, for our classroom, about three guaranteed, but then if we want more, like a class set, it's a first come, first serve uh, type of thing. So it's a little hard to get more than a small group worth of iPads. We have four computer stations in the classroom. Today's webinar will be about Flocabulary, the website. This is going to be a 101 type of um, webinar for Flocabulary. It is a learning tool, but can also be used as a creating tool. It can be used for evaluation, and it's an engaging way for us as teachers to teach and to captivate our students. Um, it can be used whole group, small group, it can be used individually, it could be in a station. It can be used in a variety of ways, and we will be sure to cover all of those ways during our webinar. It helps us teach and to keep our students engaged. It helps us as teachers uh, be more productive and maintain their attention longer. It can also help you with T-tests. I know it's one of those buzzwords, but it really will help you because it helps get to the next level of the T-test with the creative and the technology integration aspect, where it's not them just using technology as a learning tool, but as a creating tool and as a communication tool. And so it will help them, and it will help you be a better teacher and help them be better learners in that form. Our ISTE standard is 6, creative communicator, and it's actually 6D with a customized message because they're able to communicate to you what they have learned in a customizable way in vocabulary. We are going to go ahead and begin. And I know the screen is going to look a little weird or a little different at the beginning when I start the screen share. It's okay. Um, it'll fix itself out right away. Okay, so here we go. And we're just going to go ahead and go to a new tab. And we're just going to start with Google. And we're just going to go ahead and type in vocabulary to be able to go, and it's my first hit. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to type it in on the side. I'm looking at it. I will be able to answer you. Oop, I'm already logged in. I wanted to show you what it looks like when you first log in. Okay, so when you first go to the vocabulary website, it's like this, and it's just www.vocabulary.com. Or you can Google vocabulary and then go ahead and click on it when it appears. And you just click on login because our school district has been very kind and has provided us with a free year of uh, vocabulary. So if we use it more, I'm sure we'll get it again next year. But it is a huge, huge advantage to have it through the school district and be able to use it. We're going to go ahead and log in with Google, and students will be able to log in um, with the Ready Hub and Cleaver, um, because it is part of the district login site. Um, And another good thing is that you don't have to create another password, another username. Everything stays the same. So that's just very nice. As you can see, there's a lot of subjects that are provided for us. We have language arts K to 12, math K to 2, science K to 12, social studies K to 12, life skills K to 12, vocabulary K to 12, and current events for third grade through 12. Um, we're going to go ahead and explore a little bit for each subject so you can kind of get a look to see what is in each component because it's hard for us to go and explore on our own and have the time. And since right here we have the time provided in reading and writing, it has some really awesome ones. Um, I'm excited to use them and to have my students use them in stations and be able to get that repetition and get that uh, into their long-term memory. And it has fables, it has fiction versus nonfiction. It has, the who, what, where, when, why questions, cause and effect, text features, which, we just finished that unit. It has onomatopoeia, which is what we're going to be studying this week for us in our class. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to favorites so that we could watch it tomorrow as a class. Um, and and I'm just going to keep searching to see if there's anything else that I would like to add. Um, Plot element, inferencing. Oh, what is poetry? I'm going to save that one for next week because next week, when we wrap up poetry, I'm going to want to use it as a review tool for what we have learned about poetry. It has everything that you could possibly ask for poetry, similes, metaphors. It has dictionary skills. It has a million and one things reading and writing. It has grammar skills in punctuation, contractions, nouns, possessive nouns, adjectives, synonyms, antonyms, parts of speech, commonly confused words, sentences. It is amazing to be able to teach all of those things with it. For math, it has addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, number operations, expressions, geometry, and measurement, statistics and probability and ratio. Even within each category, it has subcategories for math. It has all your different multiplications. It has a challenge, a wrap, it's division. It has long division. It has a plethora of things in math also. For science, we're elementary, but for fifth grade has earth science, life science. For the fifth grade star, it's coming up, so this would be a great review tool to put it maybe in a station. It has what is science, food chains, life cycles, forces in motion, um, all kinds of things. We're about to do life cycles, so I'm going to go ahead and save that one for when I do life cycles in a few weeks. And the last one we're going to explore today is going to be social studies. We can go into elementary social studies. And we just finished up uh, doing continents and map skills. We finished all of these things, and these were amazing tools. It has George Washington and Frank Sacagawea that are coming soon, so it's constantly being updated. As landforms and bodies of water, we just finished all of those things. Urban, suburban, rural. Since we just finished those units in second grade, we could also use those as a review and in a station now. After it's been taught in the classroom, it's always good to put it back into a station and allowing our students to have the opportunity to learn and explore from it. I know we're about to study George Washington Carver, so I'm going to go ahead and add that one to favorites. Okay, and so Um, I'm gonna show you. Oh, okay, you can go like this. And what we didn't see on there was fractions. And we just started fractions in second grade. So I wanted to know more about fractions. And I couldn't find it going to math and doing that way, but there's always a search option at the top. And I'm just going to type in fractions. It's actually right there already for me. Search, and then it comes up with all kinds of things on fractions: adding fractions, equivalent fractions, multiplying fractions, dividing, probability, percents, decimals, ratios. Since I am second grade, I'm going to go with this one, and I'm just going to add it to favorites for tomorrow. Since we just introduced fractions today, tomorrow we will be going back over it, and I think this is going to be a helpful tool for us to use. Um, Before we go into a lesson, I also wanted to show you this cool, neat thing up here. It says how to use. And if you click on it, it actually gives you tutorials on how to use vocabulary in the classroom with your students. Um, if you're looking for a lesson on a specific TEK, you can click on Align to Standards. Because we always want to try to make sure that our lessons are aligning to our TEKs, especially with our new T-test and how in dual language, how we have such a short amount of time to teach things. We want to make sure that we're being effective and using all our time wisely and hitting all those TEKs. Texas standards. Then we pick a subject. Let's say um, social studies, grade 2. And I'm going to search to see what TEKs are available here. And it gives me all the TEKs and all the correlations. If I want to know order of events in time periods and historical present times, I have 7 different articles or videos, lessons that I can use. I have Cesar Chavez, George Washington Carver, which I just saved, Labor Day, Ruby Bridges, Thanksgiving, Thomas Edison, and Veterans Day. So it gives me the ability to just choose from a smaller list. Biographies and resources about information in a given period. It has Cesar Chavez. If I wanted to hit these 2 TEKs, then if I saw that that article was repeated in both, then I would choose Cesar Chavez as my article to use um, during that, for that lesson, and be able to hit 2 TEKs at once. And I also wanted to show you under resources, the lesson resources, the how to use, and then you can click on lesson resources. There's lesson resources and subject guides for each thing, but I wanted to show you down here. There is a lesson plan type template. Sorry, I got tongue twisted. Welcome, Miss Colombe, um, to our chat and to our webinar. Um, this is a simple, very easy to use lesson plan, just for you to organize your thoughts and to be able to turn it in if you're being observed or something like that. This will be something that you can hand over to your principal or assistant principal and say, hey, look, I have thought this through, and even this specific lesson, it has all these components to it, and that would also bump up your T-test. Go back, and then we have this awesome one that I really liked, was a graphic organizers. I feel like our students learn so much better with a graphic organizer. The queen of graphic organizers, we use them constantly. They have a normal KWL chart, and it looks just normal. It just says vocabulary at the top. Um, but it's just a normal KWL chart that you can use with the students. It has a Venn diagram which, for second grade, it's still a little hard to draw a Venn diagram big enough for them to be able to write inside of. So that's good to have. It has a lot of different graphic organizers, note-taking sheets. If you're in the upper grades, that can help you, especially with the Avid. You may want the note-taking chart for them to not spend that extra time doing that. Um, so we're going to go through and I'm going to show you a lesson on money, and I think I have it in my favorites. After I've saved favorited lessons, you can just click on the star and it will take you to your favorites. Yes, my money lesson is here. So they have this awesome videos that are very engaging and that the kids love. And you can play them slower because see how it has original speed. You can play them slower. You can play them faster. You can play it. I'm just gonna play it normal speed for a little bit.
Pennies, nickels, and dimes, they're all mine. Listen, I get paid. All of y'all better know I get paid.
Hey, are y'all ready? I like to say hi, my name is Penny. I'm the color copper, kind of red. But I don't let that get to my head. I'm only worth 1 cent, yeah, just one. But I make change and I get the job done. For all the scholars, if you wanted $1, gee, you would need 100 copies of me.
Up next on the mic, I'm a nickel. I'm worth 5 pennies. It's that simple. I'm colored silver, second biggest in size. 2 of me, that would be worth a dime. Yes, I'm a nickel, the coin worth 5 cents. Bet you didn't know I knew how to rhyme. You can flip me and get heads or tails. I still be a nickel. Can't you tell?
I've got money, money, money.
I got money.
I've got money, money, money.
Yeah, I got money.
Makes sense that I get paid dollars and cents.
I'm going to push pause on our video, although it's very engaging. I'm going to show you the next part. I really like this, especially for my struggling learners, because they can go through and they can make notes. And if in our ELLs, it really helps them. They can click on the word, and then you can write a sentence with the word. And it can be a simple sentence. It could be a nickel, is worth 5 cents. It could just be something simple like that, and they can change the color of the background. They can edit it, whatever helps them to keep them engaged and to keep creating. And this is where their creativity comes along. They're going to want to write the sentence so that they can do the graphic parts. But you may want to limit, okay, you can have 1 minute to choose your graphics to go through. You may want to limit that part because some of them will want to just be there with the colors and not with the actual product. You click save and then you draw your picture, and they can draw a picture to go with it. They can draw, I can just draw 5 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 5. And we can write the word. They can type on there 5 pennies. And they don't have to type or write. I'm just showing you some of the features they have. And then you can flip it and they see the coin and it has it in the sentence. The lemonade costs 5 cents, so I paid 1 nickel. It has the definition and it will read it to them.
Nickel. Nickel.
Like I said, it helps our ELL learners so much to be able to have this tool and be able to use that with them. And then I was going to show you our read and respond part. This, I think it's a great idea to use with in a station, bilingual pairs, collaborative group, to be able to do it together and learn as a group. To me, I think this is how I would best use it, but you can use it independently. It could be a homework assignment, it could be anything you choose to make it. And if you look carefully, the words, they're a little bit illuminated and they're hyperlinked. If I click on nickel, it gives me my sentence and my drawing. But if I flip it, it gives me the one from them. And it will read it to them again.
Nickel.
So that's pretty awesome for them to have that vocabulary reinforcement there and be able to look at it. And then if you read the question, Samantha has 1 nickel and 4 pennies in her pocket. How much does she have? We click on 9 cents and confirm the answer. It gets it correct, and then it lets them go on to the next answer. The next question, I mean. And then it has just 5 questions. That's why I think it's a good idea to have it as a group because it's short, it's small, and it's an activity you can do as a group. It has the quiz available for them, and the quiz you can take as a grade. It can be an independent activity. They can take a screenshot of it, or they can Control P and print it out at the end. Um, so this, like I said, this is a great assessment tool to see that make sure that your kids are actually paying attention, and it can be also used as an incentive and say, hey, if you get at least 7 questions correct on your quiz, then you can do the create part. And that's going to be your hook. The create's going to be the favorite part, the part that the kids are going to love and be drawn into. I like it, and I'm not a kid, but I think it's amazing. And this is where your students are going to thrive. And this is where we get that extra level on the T test, and you get that extra level of student engagement and learning. Here they can take notes, and this is where they can put, penny equals 1. And these are just their notes. It doesn't have to be anything else. Nickel equals 5. And then they could just go on like that for there. But that's just for their purpose. It doesn't have to have anything specific there. And then on the your rhyme part is really awesome. And this is the part where they get to create their own rhyme and help them remember. And they get to use the vocabulary words. This one has 10. Some of the others will have less vocabulary words than 10. So you can have your own little rubric for each one. Hey, minimum you got to use 3 vocabulary words, or minimum you have to use 5 and to get a 70. 6 to get a 80, 7 to get a 90. If you use all 10, then you get, 110 points on your grade. Use that as an incentive for your kids to use all the words. And then right here, you just start typing the rhyme. A penny's worth 1 cent. And then I just pushed. Oh, sorry, that's my title. Title your rhyme. I'm going to title it Money. Sorry. And then I'm going to start typing down here. And I am going to go ahead and start typing my rhyme. And I'm going to say, oh my gosh, I cannot type today. Okay, so if you notice that as I typed in A penny is worth 1 cent. The word penny is highlighted and the word cent is highlighted. And then it also highlighted them over here in the vocabulary words. And it shows that I've used 2 vocabulary words in my first one. And then what's awesome is that they don't even have to really think about the rhyme. It could be, they already gives them rhyming words here. For them, rhyming words with cent. And then slant rhymes, which means that this one wouldn't rhyme, but the next one would. And it would give them synonyms for different words. So it's an awesome resource to have on the side for kids to be able to come up with their rhymes. And then, like the pièce de résistance, the part that kids are going to be very drawn into, is going to be choosing the beat. And they get to choose a beat to um, sing their song to, or flow to, or rap to. And I'm just going to show you real quick. So this place, when then they get to go and start their rhyme. And at first they're going to be embarrassed or whatever, but then they're going to take off. During our class, like at first we were all shy and everything, but then we all started getting into it and being able to rap and get our flow down. I would limit how many beats they use to maybe 3 or 5. You can use Getaway, Still There, and Still Here, and Dax. And just limit how many they can use, because that part can take forever. There is a long, 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 long list of um, beats that they can use so that they can do their rhyme with. So don't think that it's going to be just real quick. It's going to take a long time. So I would limit that part to, okay, you can choose from these 5 beats and you have 10 minutes to choose your beat, or 5 minutes to choose your beat. Don't let them have forever to choose their beat, because then it's not going to work out for them. Right here on export to PDF, they can actually export it to PDF and you can print it out for them, or if they're in older grades, they can print it out for themselves, and and they can save it under their own name, and that way then they can perform it in front of the class and they have their rhyme in front of them to be able to look at and be able to perform as a group for your class. I'm going to show you a few more tricks before our time is up. I'm going to go so fast. Okay, you have my classes. This is where you have your stuff, all your classes, all your students are there. And then I was going to show you how to assign really quickly. Okay, here we go. I was going to show you how to assign a video in parts and discuss that very quickly because it's time's running out. Reduce, reuse, it's one of the videos that I had saved. And I'm going to go ahead and assign it to some of my kids. I'm just going to click on the assign button. And I'm going to click on my subject. It's going to be for science. So I'm going to assign it under science. And this is the part that's really cool, is that you can assign just the video and the vocabulary cards. And then once they have that part, you can assign the read and respond. Or you can just assign the read and respond part to certain groups or to your whole class. And then once that part is done out of your station, then you can assign the quiz. And then at the very end, once they've done all the other parts, you can assign the lyric lab. That way it's not there for them. They can't go to the lyric lab first. They have to do all the other parts, the video and the vocabulary cards. That's the parts that I want them to do first. So I'm going to create that assignment for that group. Assignment created. Now if I go back to classes, it says one current upcoming assignment. And on the, it actually has, you can put due dates and everything else. I did not put a due date, but you can do as you wish. And you can view the assignments and view who has seen it, who hasn't, who has submitted it, who has not, which is going to make your kids much more global learners. Um, and you can see these are my students, so I don't really want to go there, but I'll have them on there. Just go back to my classes. Okay, if you guys have any questions at all, please let me know. I was going to show you my Twitter handle. It is right here at Mrs. Cazares. Um, at, so if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can. And if Brian could please put on there the link for your um, credit, that would be awesome. Oh, I was going to show you this too. It right on the first when you on your dashboard, it gives you a list of favorites, so you don't even have to click on favorites; they'll be right there, so you can just log in and go. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for coming and listening to me. Okay. I don't know that it's allowing me to do thing, but I will type in the code for you guys to go to. As I'm sure you guys want CPE credit. Make it big. Here we go.